Welcome
Uh,
back to another interview of whatever the title is, because John still hasn't given me a title. John needs to give me a title, and hopefully it's something wholesome and family friendly. But
no title game.
yeah, no title gang, no title gang. And
Uh,
I've said this about my last few interviews about how this is really this is special, but no, this particular one here is really special because I'm here with someone I consider not only just a friend but a brother at this point. He's basically family, and he's been with me through so much. If he wants to go ahead and introduce himself,
what's up, guys? My name's Hardeo.
uh,
I've been known Brand for basically my whole life since 1999. Me and Brandon, we basically grew up together. We family. We were next door neighbors. Grew up in Florida. In the streets of Margate, Second Street. Shout out to all the boys in Second Street growing up.
the
You
trenches.
know what I'm saying? In the trenches. Now it wasn't really the trenches. It was a good neighborhood. Um, right now, I live in California. I work at a national laboratory as a scientist, and I do miss my family and friends back home in Florida, but I'm enjoying it out here in California. I enjoy my work, so can't complain.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to go in? Do you want to go into a little bit how we met, or do you want to like go back and forth? Because I know it might be a little hazy since it's been so long since we first met.
Yeah, we can go into that.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, how I remember, I think I it was like I don't know how long it was since I moved into the neighborhood, and but it was back when the community first got built, and basically nobody really had any fences up
Nope.
except you guys. I think you guys. I don't know if you guys had a fence.
Yeah, we did. We
The
had the back
Yeah,
fence.
yeah.
We
So
had the
I
fence
was
up
playing.
already.
Yeah, and I was playing with my Tonka truck or something like that back then. And then I started walking along the canal because all the houses you could just walk along the canal in the back and you can get to everyone's backyard.
Hmm.
And so I was walking along the canal, and then and I think I saw you behind your fence. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, hey, what's up?" I don't know if your grandma or mom was outside.
No,
I
I
don't
think it was
remember.
my grandma. I remember because
Yeah,
I remember playing basketball when I had the little Tykes basketball hoop.
yeah, yeah. And then I was in my truck, and then we said, "What's up?" And you were like, "I think you had like a truck just like that or something." I don't remember if you had a truck just like that. But then we said like, "What's up?" Then we were like, yo, man, we should hang out sometime. We cool to like just to play together." And that was like, I think that was 1999.
Yeah, we were five, or you were four. I was five.
I was 4 years old, man.
We literally grew up in diapers together. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then basically I just started going over your house. Um, just we just hang out. And then as we got older, we started getting into the gaming and all that stuff.
Mhm.
The Nintendo 64 days, the PlayStation days, and then it's been history ever since.
Yeah, we're still stuck on PlayStation. The PlayStation
So
days never ended.
that's yeah, we still on that. That's facts.
Yeah. So the first quick, and if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes because I'm trying to be
That's all good.
professional out here in the streets.
Yeah,
So the first question I have for you is, what was it like for you growing up with a friend who has cerebral palsy?
man. You know what's crazy? When I first met you, like it didn't even cross my mind like that
Yeah,
someone had CP, and I didn't even know what it was called back in the day.
yeah.
And so
So I was basically your first exposure to it.
exactly, yeah. And basically, you were like my first best friend ever, and
Mhm.
and growing up with someone who has CP, I mean, you become normalized to it, and especially with growing up with you, like, I mean, that's just how you were. Like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, did you have trouble walking? Yeah, but like to me, you're just like another normal person.
Mhm.
And especially since I feel like when you grow up with someone younger, it's different than when you're older. You've been exposed to more things, and so since you had CP, but I was younger, and so I didn't really know what that was. That was just normal to me that you had that, and I didn't think anything was wrong with you, just other than you had trouble walking. And so I was like, oh yeah, I mean it's fine. This is just my friend. my homie Brandon, you know? And so I didn't really think anything of it, but when we got older, then it kind of occurred to me that, you actually had a disability, probably like, we got older in like elementary, middle school, when you had like trouble like running and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always been the normal for me. Like, it's my brother Brandon. Like he's always had CP, but it's always been like the normal for me that you've had CP. So I haven't really thought. I didn't think anything of it too much when I was younger. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. It's kind of like we were both growing up with it together because I didn't really
Yeah,
like I knew I had cerebral palsy, but I didn't know like just like you, I didn't know like to like the little intricacies of it. So as I was figuring
yeah,
this stuff out, you were learning it too. So
yeah. But in the end of the day, it's like I mean, it's an important condition that you have. But at the end of the day, like we weren't really focused on that. We were just focused on just hanging out
mhm.
and just doing our thing.
Okay. All right. Damn, that was a really good answer. We could have just kept going off that, but I gotta
We
go to the
can if
next.
you we can if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we'll circle back. We'll circle back to that. I
All
mean, we
right.
got nothing but time. We
Yeah.
got nothing but time. So then, give me one second. So the next question I have for you is, was there a particular moment in your life when you realized, like, oh shit, I have a brother for life?
Hmm. I think probably like high school, you kind of start to recognize it because you kind of get more mature with your thinking and because elementary, middle school, you're like, all right, you got friends, you just want to play and hang with your friends. Well, as you get older, I think you start to value family and friends a little bit more, especially when you like finishing high school and then especially college and when you get older in life and then like you have so many
Mhm.
people coming in and out of your life during those stages and like you meet so many new people. I think
Mhm.
you value the close people to you most, especially the people you grew up with and that you talk to. We basically talk every day. We talk on the phone like every other day, at least minimum like once or twice a week. And so definitely college, like you got a brother for life. Like you hit them up, they always there for you in case you need to talk or vent or anything. So I think I'd probably say like young adult. Like yeah, definitely young adult because you start to recognize it more, like the significance of family
Mhm.
and stuff. And like, yeah, this is my brother for life. Like we not related by blood, but we basically blood
Shit, we're
at
gonna be
that
at each
point.
other's weddings. We're gonna figure our kids
In
are gonna
fact,
call each other uncle or Theo or
no,
whatever.
yeah, literally. But you know what's crazy? It's like that growing up with my mom used to tell me stories back in Guyana, how you grow up with people like in the village,
Mm-hmm.
like they're not related to you by blood, but since you grew up with them, they basically family. And like, growing up, you're not thinking about that because you're around them all the time. But then like when you go kind of your separate ways, or like when someone moves kind of far, you start to kind of recognize how special that bond was.
Yeah,
And like, that's your family, even though you're not blood, that's still family right there.
yeah, especially with me, you, and Nathan. Like, how many people can say they've known their friend for over 20 years?
Yeah, fact, man, that's crazy. Like having a friend for 20 plus years,
That you
basically.
talk to on a consistent
That's that
basis
that
still, like that
exactly.
that hardly ever happens. And
Exactly. I mean, your mom's like my mom. My mom's like your mom. My grandparents are dead. Your grandma's basically like my grandma.
yeah,
So I
you
basically
you
still
even you
got a
guys
grand.
even call her grandma. It's like,
Yeah, we call her grandma. Yeah, it's basically our grandma too.
yeah. I mean, for me, I can think of a couple. I can think of a myriad of moments. I mean,
Yeah.
that I realized, like, oh shit, you and Nathan are gonna be in my life for the rest of my life. And the major one was when I had my surgery.
Mm,
The major one was when I had my surgery because you and Nathan were like really the only. I mean, you were gonna still come over regardless because we were that close, but you and Nathan were really the only two that consistently like showed up to check on me. And like, I mean, I was still cool with everybody else in the neighborhood, but they didn't come to check up on me.
yeah.
You guys did, and then that's when I realized, like, and then another moment too was when you left for college. I don't know if I ever told you this, but the day you left for college and you sent me that text message saying you were leaving, I cried my eyes out.
Yeah, bro, it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. And it was hard too. Like you remember when I moved to California?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was tough too.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, I
That definitely
that was
was
tough.
tough. But
That was tough. I cried a little bit on that too. So it was like a big transition. Because remember I was at home for those couple of months,
yeah,
basically just waiting for like the start date and all that stuff, and I was like bumming it out.
yeah, and it's
Tho-
kind of
tho-
like you were excited, but you didn't want the start date to come too fast because you still wanted to.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
still wanted to hang out at home. It was nice. I mean, even though I wasn't doing nothing, it was nice just hanging out at home.
yeah,
And, with you. I mean,
because it
because
had been
I
a
was
while.
yeah, I was taking you to work. It was good to just hang out with my parents for the big moving stuff,
Mhm.
and then the Wawa runs.
Yeah, the
Bro, bro,
Wawa
the
runs were
legendary,
legendary,
the
bro.
little, the Wawa runs, boy. Tell
The
you,
them Wawa runs will never be defeated.
for
Yeah.
real, bro.
That's when we learned. Whenever a woman makes the milkshake, it's always fire. But whenever a guy
Man,
makes
she
it, it
put that.
always comes out
I don't
ass.
know, bro. You don't put that same love and care, bro. She
You
put that love and care to
you
that
don't put you
milkshake,
don't put the elbow grease in it like you
man. We don't want that watery milkshake, man.
no, absolutely not.
Nah, I remember the time I put the espresso in the
Oh, weren't you up until like 3 in the morning then?
bro. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I could not sleep. I was like, yo, this espresso ain't gonna do nothing because sometimes coffee don't be doing nothing for me. And then I put it in there. I was like, man, I cannot sleep. What was I watching? I was watching Blacklist that whole night.
Oh,
I didn't
oh
fall
yeah, I
asleep till like
remember.
four
Because
o'clock in the
you were
morning.
on a blacklist kick heavy.
Yeah, I was binging that show. I was binging that jump.
Yeah. So the third question I have for you is how have I helped motivate you since being in your life? Like how have I helped motivate you and helped you become better?
I think I think just the encouragement and just being there. Sometimes when you go through hard days, especially when I was in grad school, and sometimes days would be tough. Like you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes just talking to you or talking to Nathan or talking to my girlfriend, just the words of encouragement, or just like being there, just having a regular conversation about things not even related to work, just about things that we enjoy in our free time, like sports or like anime or games and all that. I think
Yeah.
that just helps me motivate me, like just mentally to get my mind right. Because sometimes you get dragged down by like all the work stuff, and
Boy,
then
don't
like
I know it.
yeah, you get just dragged down, and then like mentally you're like you got no motivation, like you don't want to deal with this. So sometimes it's just good to just talk to someone else to just kind of vent a little bit, offload that, and then that kind of encourages you to get back in it
Yeah, shit, you've seen it
because
firsthand. Like,
you basically want to be successful not only for yourself.
mm.
What you say?
No, I was saying you've seen it firsthand with me when I went through that whole 2 year stretch of where I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you just need like someone to just be there, even though like you try to tell somebody to do something, they may not do it, but still just being there for them is just enough.
Hmm. And you guys have had to, and you and Nathan sometimes have had to check me and be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? You better go do some shit before life passes you by."
Yeah, but I mean that's the one thing about us. We roast each other all the time, but we always keep it real with each other. Be like, hey man,
Yeah,
when you going to get back on this? Like
absolutely, yep,
you got
absolutely.
yeah
Especially with me,
yeah
you and especially Nathan has been especially Nathan. Nathan's been like he's been drilling it into me, like, yo, like you can do whatever you want. Sometimes I'll be questioning it, and then you be like, yo, you can do it.
yeah. Just got to you really just got to apply yourself, and you'll be able to
That's
do
what
it.
I appreciate about our friend group. Like we can be real with each other and check each other, but still keep it cool.
Yeah,
Like we'll get into like we can get into little arguments, but we know we're gonna be cool afterwards.
yeah. Because at the end of the day, bro, we family. Like little things like that. Family's bigger than that. Now I'm sounding like Fast and Furious, bro. Family,
Family.
family.
And shit, if I drank, I'd put a lot of Corona right now, but I
Oh
can't do
man,
that.
come on, bro.
Yeah, we're
Hey,
not gonna.
make sure y'all drink that water though.
Oh
Make sure y'all
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
y'all.
Hold on. Hold
Make
on.
sure
Yep.
y'all drinking that
Drink
water. Yeah, you know what I'm
water.
saying? We we
Drink
drinking we
water.
drinking water right here.
Drink
We
water. The
don't.
women won't like you if you don't drink water.
I'm saying,
So the fourth, so the fourth question, and this could be the last question before we can like do a free for all after
yeah.
this like main question. But did you ever like because oh, and I forgot to mention your title. I can't call you Hardeo Chin anymore. You have to be your title has you have to be Doctor Hardeo Chin first because you got your doctorate and all that stuff. You work for the feds, so
Appreciate it.
yeah, so
Contractor, technically contractor for the feds, but we
contractor
at the
for the feds.
feds
That's my fault.
technically.
I hope a black van doesn't pull up. But, but when you were going through grad school for engineering, did you ever feel like you wanted to do something else, or or did you always want to be an engineer, or was there like a time where you just wanted to like say fuck it and do something else?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. When I was in grad school, yeah, when I was doing my PhD, man, that was hard. Like there was a time where because when you're doing your PhD, you can get
Mm-hmm.
you get your master's degree along the way. And there was a time I was thinking about it. We call it mastering out because like my advisor, he was putting me on like a project that I wasn't really good at, and my skill set wasn't really like being good to apply to it. So I was thinking about just getting my master's degree and just leave and start working right, for somewhere else and not finishing my PhD. And in terms of engineering, I didn't know I always wanted to be an engineer. Um, when you're a kid, you grow up, you want to be like, I want to be an NFL quarterback or something like that.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Like how big professional video gamers or streamers are. Like that wasn't even a field back in our day. Like
Yeah, back when we were kids, like it was just like, oh, I want to play video games for a living, and then we'd be like, oh,
yeah, but
bro, with the ads, you
yeah,
have to
now
do
it's now exactly now it's a real thing. Like you got YouTubers, you have like Twitch streamers who make a living off of this stuff. I mean, it's not obviously it's not easy to do it, but like once you like actually get a decent following, you can make a good living off of it. Depending on how many followers you get, obviously. But yeah, during grad school, I definitely did think about, quitting multiple times. Just in those like between like year like 2 and 3, I would say mostly year 2 was like really hard because I was starting to feel kind of burnt out because I was in school already for like 5 years from doing my bachelor's.
Yeah, it's just
And so
constant school, and
kind
you
of
were only
school.
coming home for like a couple weeks like a week or two at a time. You didn't really get a break.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't take a break between doing my bachelor's and doing my PhD. And so I was feeling kind of burnt out after a while. But then eventually when I got switched on the project, which I actually did like and my skills were applied better to, then I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I felt a lot better about myself. I was in a better mental state.
Mhm.
But that was a grad school experience. But growing up, like, us playing sports and video game and doing video games all the time, like I was nothing but engineering until like maybe high school when because my parents put me in the pre-engineering magnet program. I was like, yeah, it's engineering something I could do. Like I enjoy engineering, but I also still enjoy the hobbies, like us playing games online, watching sports and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I remember when we were younger, we used to always talk about I'm gonna play in the NFL or I'm gonna play in the NBA. You're gonna be in the NFL. Not
Yeah, no, for
realizing,
real.
not realizing that there's a whole set of prerequisites that go on with that.
hmm No, we had a good time playing in the street though, while playing basketball, playing two man
I
touch
will say
football.
this to this day. Had you stuck with basketball and actually like got serious with it, I think you could have at least made it to like a small Division 2 school for at least basketball.
Maybe probably gotten bigger and stuff and stuck with it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So that is the last question that I had written down. So I mean, the open sec. This is the open section. Again, these aren't really like structured. It's just a bunch.
Yeah,
Like I don't really want to call this a podcast yet because there's really no structure. But
you can do
so
whatever podcast stuff you want.
Yeah. So this is gonna be the open section. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for me that you haven't? I mean, because we talk about a lot, and I know there's probably stuff you wanted to ask me that you've never really gotten a chance to ask.
Hmm.
So
Well, I would say, well, if I'm like kind of asking you interview questions now, well, where do you see yourself? I guess in the next 5 years,
in the next
goal wise.
in the
Yeah,
next in the next 5 years, obviously not living in this house.
yeah,
Um, doing my finance thing full time, as you know, I'm starting to get back into that, get more consistent. Uh, hopefully this takes off and goes somewhere else because I mean I'm starting to see I'm starting to see as I do this more that I'm liking doing this and interviewing people and getting different perspectives and seeing the feedback that I get from the several poly group that I'm in, other people on other social media sites, and I'm liking the feedback, and a lot of people, and I've gotten a few comments that have made my day saying, "Oh my God, I'm just now seeing your interviews, and I'm glad that you're doing this because I didn't have this when I was younger, so I'm glad I'm able to see somebody else doing it." So
yeah. I mean, if there's one thing, bro, well, you're good at it. You're good at talking.
yeah.
And I've always thought like you. I mean, because I think we had talked about when we were like very young. You had thought about being like a sports commentator or a sports journalist, something like that, because you enjoy sports, and then you're also good at talking about different things.
Mhm.
So I definitely see if you stick with this and be consistent, and then we get you the right stuff, right opportunity for this. This could probably blow up.
Yeah, you know what's
That's
crazy?
it.
Nathan was talking about us three doing the podcast. And I'm technically taking the first step.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Every
And
time
he's
my
not
girlfriend is like,
on because he's too scared because he doesn't like doing interviews when pretty
every
much it's just a conversation just with questions.
yeah, my girlfriend is always like, stop giving these boys podcasts, Mike. Hey,
Yeah, no, so some
no,
people actually shouldn't have a podcast at all, but that's a whole
but you're
nother thing.
but you're you're uploading these on YouTube though, right?
I'm uploading if they're like super long, I upload the whole thing to YouTube and then I cut certain
Okay.
clips out and then post it. But if it's like short enough, I'll just post it to Facebook and then Instagram, and then I started posting clips to TikTok, and they're doing pretty well on TikTok. They're getting like it's not like super blowing up yet, but it's getting like around a
Yeah.
decent 200 views like a clip.
Gotta start small, start building up.
Yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to ask?
All right, let me ask you this. What are your takes on the NFL season coming up? We got the Chiefs and we got the Lions playing this Thursday in the season opener.
Ooh.
And then and then let me hear your Super Bowl predictions. Early Super Bowl predictions.
Well, obviously, you know me. I'm gonna pick my Saints regardless. So I mean, even though we have Derek Carr, and I do not trust him as far as I can throw him, and I can't throw him that far.
Oh man.
I am very nervous about Derek Carr. I am very. I know he was good with the. I know he was pretty decent with the Raiders for a couple of years, but I just don't know.
Hmm.
I really just don't know. And
It's gonna be an interesting season because Baker Mayfield is also in that division now. He's starting for the Buccaneers.
wait, what?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield starting for the Buccaneers.
Oh yeah, this division free. Wait a minute,
Yeah, yeah.
this
Y'all
division
could
is free.
y'all
This
y'all could still maybe make the playoffs.
We definitely got a playoff spot if Baker Mayfield is starting for the Bucks because the whole reason we couldn't do anything is because Tom Brady was in our division. Now Tom Brady is gone, hopefully for good.
Yep, that's right.
Hopefully for good. Yeah, my Super Bowl prediction is my Saints are gonna make it to the Super Bowl and play the Chiefs, and then most likely get raffle stomped by thinking Patrick Mahomes because that guy played in the Super Bowl on one leg and completely torched. Wait,
Man.
what did they play last year? The
Who did they
what was
who
it?
did they
The
beat? Oh, the
Bengals?
Eagles.
Oh no, they played the Eagles. They played the fucking
Yeah,
Bengals
yeah.
in the division and the champions in
And
the
championship. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
champion. Yeah. Oh my lord. So actually, I just thought of another question, and
Yeah.
this is like probably gonna be a little personal, so you don't have to answer it. But what's it been like living with your girlfriend, like full time, and not just visiting?
Uh it actually hasn't been too bad because when she would visit for, long periods of time, maybe like a couple weeks. So it'd be almost like we've been living together. But other than that, it's been pretty good. The main thing is like just communication. Communicating, especially, when we got like chores have to get done, or who's gonna be cooking, or who's gonna, be cleaning certain things. Like, don't expect someone to do something all the time. Like, if you want them to do it, ask them if they are. And most of the time, I mean, my girl, like, if you ask her ahead of time and plan it, then she'll do it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think just don't set too many expectations on a lot of different things. Just like communicate what's gonna go on. But
Mm-hmm.
it's been good. It's definitely been a transition, with someone moving into the same space. Because when I first moved to California, it was just me on my own. Basically, it was my bachelor pad. So we had to when she moved in, we had to get all of her stuff organized, and then figure out where all of her stuff was gonna go, my stuff, and I had to organize my stuff as well, and then declutter because I got a lot of clothes in my closet too.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to definitely do some organization in the closet
Yeah.
to make both our clothes fit.
So basically, she's redecorating the whole house and making it look how she wants to look, and you're just kind of there.
No, no, she asked for my input. She does, but she did reorganize the bedroom though.
Oh,
We,
okay.
we we got this couch that I'm sitting on in the bedroom that she brought that I wasn't even here when I first moved,
Oh,
and
nice.
then so she moved to bed, and then this nice little couch in the bedroom. This could be the new interview couch.
Oh,
We just gotta get Nathan on the podcast next
yeah.
time.
You know what we gotta do, and I think I said this before, but we gotta get all five of us, me, you, Nathan, John, and Phil. All five of us have to be on a podcast episode. That would be hilarious. Cause you know how
Hey,
me, you, and Nathan get when we're off air.
that's true. That would be a true podcast. Like five of us, we'd be just talking a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy. Yeah, yeah. Let me know,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So
and
what's
we can
it?
we can
So
get there.
another question: What's it been like living with a? What's it been like having to take care of a dog?
Oh, you're Finley? Oh, taking care of Finley's easy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, granted, they took care of Finley like most of the time, but the only thing is you have to definitely do a little bit of planning ahead because if we're both gonna travel for an extended period of time, and we have to make sure there's someone he can stay with. Like for example, we're traveling to a friend's wedding in early December, so we're gonna have to like figure that out. Like who is he gonna be able to stay with? Because we're going to Colombia, but like if we're going anywhere in the U.S., like someone's house, like we can bring him on the plane, which is nice. It'll just be a carry on under the seat.
Oh no!
But
Have you thought about
Philly's pretty
asking
pretty easy to
Megan to
take care.
watch him?
I think so, but I don't know. I don't know how the dog would get along because Megan's dog is so big, and Finley's only like 11 and a half pounds. So
Has Finley met the new dog? By the way.
no, Finley hasn't met Peppermint yet,
All right. Yeah.
but take care of Finley's not bad. He doesn't need to eat much because he's a small dog. You just make sure he gets on his walks, and then take him out to potty. But you just plan around that. I guess the main thing is if you're leaving though, and
Yeah.
you're not be able to take him, you have to definitely plan around that.
Yeah, cause I remember when everybody used to leave and Nathan used to always be like, "Why don't you guys just take Coco with you?" And I'm like, "It's not that simple."
Yeah, yeah, you have to plan around it. Yep.
Yeah, because it's like, if we're planning on leaving, it's like I can't. That's why I didn't go. Like whenever my mom went to Orlando or whatever, that's why I didn't go. Because it's like my grandma. I mean, my grandma could take care of Coco, but only so much.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like I kind of had to stay to take care of Coco. I miss her so much though. Even after what happened.
Yeah. Coco was a nice dog. She'd always remember me every time I came over. I remember
Yeah.
she'd be snoring though when she was sleeping.
What?
She was out. She was out.
Here she'd be in the living room snoring, and I'd be on the call with you
Mhm.
guys, and Nathan'd be like, "What the hell is that?" I'm like, "That's Coco." You'd be like,
That's
"What?"
Coco. She slumps. All right.
And that's another thing too about being friends with, specifically you. Like I can hit you up whenever, and I know you're gonna be there. Like
Yeah.
if I hit you up at like 2, 3 in the morning, either something's wrong or like
Yeah. Yeah. An emergency.
yeah, because there's been a couple of times where I've hit you up that late. You've been there because I don't like calling people super late unless you're already up.
Yeah. 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 It's also interesting now because of the time difference, because of the 3 hour time difference.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I have all my friends on a lot of my friends on the East Coast, and then me being 3 hours behind. Basically, when some people be getting home from work at like 5 or 6 p.m., I'm like just now finishing eating lunch, or I'm like getting my afternoon started at work. I'm like,
or
oh
you're
man,
or
everyone
you're
back
at or
home,
you're working from home, and that's
or
the
sometimes I
hardest.
work from
That's the
home.
hardest thing to kind of gauge is like when you work at home and when you work at the office. It's kind of hard to tell because you never know based on your schedule.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So some days it's nice. I'm able to work from home if I can just analyze data and stuff. But if I don't, most of the time if I'm not answering for a long period of time, I'm probably at work because I can't bring my phone in the office.
Yeah. Cause I remember those first couple weeks when you moved to California, Nate. Cause you know how Nathan is. Nathan blows up the group chat with random links, and I'm like, and
Yep.
Nathan's asking you, yo, you want to hop on this? I'm like, Nate, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning over there. He's not awake.
Like, bro, I'm slumped right now. Facts.
He's not awake. And then sometimes, I've gotten used to it now, but sometimes it slips my mind too. Like I'll send you a music link to listen to, and I'm like, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock over here. It's like 5. He's not awake.
Or if you send me the link, that's fine. Because my phone is usually on the sleep mode, so it doesn't vibrate or anything until my alarm goes off.
Yeah. So that was the interview, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and next time, hopefully, Nathan will decide to be on this because Nate, I really
We
want
got
to
it.
get, I really want to do one with all three of us because I
Yeah.
know that would be great. It'd be a lot easier to bounce. I mean, not that it wasn't easy to bounce off of you, but it'd be like another perspective to bounce off of, and we could have even more interesting content to
Yeah,
do
see, it's,
also.
it's, it's better. It's better when there's more people, right? Because it makes it flow even more. Because different
Mm,
perspectives, like you're saying. But hey,
mm,
make sure y'all subscribe to my dog channel.
yeah,
Subscribe and tip. And
and
then whenever he gets a
and
Patreon, support him on Patreon as well.
and follow me at OnlyFans at your. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're not. Okay, we're
Follow
not
him
about to
on.
do that.
Hey, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, nah. But thanks again, you guys, for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll be back with the next one soon. And
All right.
see you
We
guys.
out.
I'm gonna hit you up in the
Peace.
group chat.
All right.